Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with Bethany. I'm Bethany Braun Silva, and today my guest is Lauren Vena. Lauren is a makeup artist, an author, and a mom. She wears many hats, and we all know how much I love a woman who does it all. We're going to be talking about the best makeup tips for moms, Lauren's amazing new book that's coming out, and so much more. So you don't want to miss it. I love a multitasking, multifaceted mama. And like just preparing for this interview, I see you do it all. You're a makeup artist, you're an author, you're a speaker. So tell us a little bit about your background, how you guys started, and where you're at now.
Yeah, so first, thanks for having me. I've been a makeup artist for, I always say, oh, well, it's over 20 years, which is crazy because I'm 21. So,
Right. Me
um,
too.
yes. But yeah, so it's been like 22 years. And I always say, thank God I love doing what I do because as we know, makeup artists work every weekends. Weddings and special occasions happen on weekends. So you have to love what you do because kids, parties, and all that mama time is a lot of times on the weekends. So I've been doing makeup. It started with behind the counter, working for Mac and Chanel and that kind of stuff. And then it kind of grew and grew, built a clientele, opened up my own LLC. And then now I'm booking 2 years out. And then for 3 years, I've been working with Bella Magazine. So started working with celebrities, and that was obviously an amazing, opportunity. Doing editorial work. And then I'm trying to kind of keep, I don't want to be like rambling with the makeup. I'm trying to keep going with what, okay. So that's kind of like the makeup career on that path. And then a couple years ago, this is pre-pandemic, the crazy hustle of a mom, right? Like we all kind of think, are we doing the right thing? Like we scream at our kids half the time, like, oh, I'm the worst mom ever, like I put frozen waffles in and I cook dinner and, we're doing the right job. But at the end of the day, our kids love us more than anything in the world. So I had a really bad morning. It was like oversleeping, burning the waffles. I didn't, it was like wear red to school. I didn't switch the wash and the dryer. So I'm like,
I
well,
hate those days. I hate those days.
it's my bad. I mean, my kids are now going into middle school. So there's no like spirit week now, but like, I'm very thankful that there's no spirit like that. Cause that was always especially pajama day. Cause my kids don't wear matching pajamas. Like it's just
Neither
not.
do mine. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lauren, we have so much in common. Keep going. All right.
So it was a bad day. And I was, dropping them off at the bus stop, and our dogs have to go to the bus stop. The dog's leashes are wrapped around me. I'm in my husband's pants and like a baggy shirt, no bra, holes in it, probably flashing the bus because I'm just like, all right, screaming, coffee spilled on me, mascara dripping down my face. I look like a monster. And my son ran back to me and was like, Mommy, I love you. I love you so much. And after like the morning where the neighbors were brushing their teeth because I was yelling so hard, I was like, if you could still come back and hug me, I'm doing something right. So I started just like jotting things down and made a story just for them, just to be like, guys, listen to mommy's funny story. And my daughter said, you have to make a book. Like, that's hilarious. And my son, who's more of like the sensitive one, was like, but you are the best mom ever. So that's how this book happened. Didn't think it would be this big thing. And it ended up being like amazing. But then I had to give a little shout out to the dads. And that's how this series started. So the dad book, My Dad, the Best Dad Ever, launched this year. And then eventually, I think my next one is going to be, because people know me, we do rescue. I have now 4 rescue dogs, will be the dog book. But I need a little time on that one.
Oh my gosh, I am so impressed. I think we've all, as moms, had a morning like that. I mean, where we're just like, things are just, and it just feels like it's spiraling out of control. But so I understand like this was the inspiration for the book, but like, let's get real. Like, what are your tips for moms on those mornings? Because I mean, I know you've been there, I've been there. So I would just love to hear, like, what do you wish someone told you, or maybe it's in this book. So yeah, What do you do on
Like
when those?
literally humor. Like I'm not even gonna say people are like, how'd you get through it? I mean, close the door and screaming. Like close the bathroom door. Like I'm not even gonna try. I mean, I love that people are like, take a deep breath and like, you know, I mean, I think that's what the book is. It's a lot of humor in it because I think humor with my kids gets me through it, and humor with myself gets me through a rough day. Laughing is the best medicine. My mom has always said that too. I mean, I think when you have a true belly laugh, doesn't that make you feel so much better? So there's
Yeah.
certain times, I mean, if we looked at that day going to the bus stop with the dog's leashes and there's holes in my shirt, I mean, when I came inside, I was like, oh my God, what a morning. And then when I saw myself in the mirror, I was crying laughing because I was like, I mean, you can't make this up. So we sometimes have to laugh at the crazy, it's
Yeah.
not so much like bigger and bad things out there that we have to laugh at the crazy.
All right.
So
I love that. I try to incorporate that. I can definitely do that a little bit more. But Lauren, I want to talk about makeup for a little bit because you are the expert. This is something like I'm 37 years old. I'm still feel like such an amateur. What are your like if you had to nail it down to like 3 tips, especially for busy moms, what like either they're like do's or don'ts, however you want to put it. What are your must know tips about makeup?
So that was my biggest thing. That's why I kind of did that little ramble because I always talk about that, especially with busy moms. Like we don't have time. So I always say, like, let's start at nighttime. We're tired. We're putting the laundry and we barely get to sit down. But one thing we have to remember to do is take off the makeup. If we are wearing makeup, we got to wash the face. And I don't mean like an 18-step skincare routine.
So many steps these days. I can't even.
Steps.
I
We have
can't.
steps. We just need, I was just talking to a client because she's like, I got the wipes and I can't get the waterproof mascara, and I need waterproof mascara because my eyes run. So I need like a waterproof mascara, that kind of thing. So I'm also big on the money spending, right? Like we don't need expensive, like I'm a huge thing on you know, L'Oreal's comparison to like Armani. So if you want to talk about that too. So like a lot of people love Bifacil eye makeup remover. So if you want to talk a little brand, I love Bifacil, but Neutrogena eye makeup remover, same kind of thing. So wipes, I don't recommend for an everyday, there's a lot of alcohol in it. But if you want to use Neutrogena, a L'Oreal one, or even like, a cleanser you like, Clinique or something, just something that's going to remove your makeup. And if you do wear a waterproof mascara or eyeliner, my favorite eye makeup remover is that Neutrogena. I think it's $3.99. And if you're a Harmons or Target, they have their brand. It's under $5. You shake it, put on a cotton ball, it takes everything off on the eyes. So removing your makeup is the most important thing. That's step one. And then simple moisturizer that's good for your skin. So if you're an oily type, something with oil control. And if you're like me, that's like dry, something that's really hydrating. So moisturizer. So we just need to make sure we cleanse and a moisturizer. I do like an eye cream, but again, that's a 3-stepper for skincare. So an eye cream, moisturizer, and at nighttime you're cleansing, right? And then let's say we're starting with makeup. I like a little bit concealer for under the eyes, anything that you want to correct. Some people don't like wearing foundation. I'm a tinted moisturizer person, but if I'm running to the grocery store, I do a little concealer. I'll throw a little bronzer on my cheeks. I have to do mascara and I'm out the door. I'm not a chapstick girl. I usually don't have, like you see, I have a full face on today. I really have nothing on my lips.
Okay.
So some people are a chapstick or a gloss. That's fine. I feel like that's like an extra if you want to put a lip on, but a little concealer. We're moms, we're tired. So just make sure it's a hydrating. My favorite concealer in the world. I've tried everything. Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. It is maybe $11. I might be wrong on the price, but wine, like, you wound it up.
Yep.
A little under the eye. I actually sell my own brand, not to like shout me out here, but
Let's shout you out.
Yeah. It's a $5 beauty blender. You wet it.
Uh-huh.
There's beauty blenders at every single price, but they're the best. It's like a fluffy pillow.
Love that.
And I love them. And then you just pat it in, But yeah. And then if you want a little blush, if you're a pinky kind of person, I have rosacea. I'm naturally red. So I'm not a crazy blush person because I naturally blush.
Yeah.
And that's it, like mascara.
So simple. It's so simple. And actually, Lauren, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I can't stop staring at your gorgeous curly hair.
Let's talk
are so, I mean, it's hard. Like, I mean, I have naturally curly hair. I had a roommate who was a curly hair model for Diva Curl. And like, she was always getting on me about like, just, I don't know. Tell us about your curls, because I know it can be, it's almost triggering for some people. Like they need to get the blowout. Like they don't want to wear their natural hair. So please tell us about your curly journey.
Okay. So it's a journey. It's so funny you said that. So I'm going to be 40, and I was traumatized as a little girl because like, now we have social media, people know about curly hair. We embrace our curly hair. Go back 30 years ago, man, but I had bangs. Okay. They gave me bangs at 11. I want to bring out like the yearbook. It was traumatizing. Nobody knew curly hair. It was awful. So it's funny you said Diva Curl. Diva Curl I have very, very kinky curly hair. So my mom has beautiful spirals. And my dad is just like full blown fro. Like he jumps in the pool, comes out dry. So I have a mixture of both their curls. Okay. And I always say, like, I love a blowout, but I can't blow out my own hair. So my girl, when she blows out my hair, it's amazing. It lasts like a week. I love it. But my curls, it's Weedad. So I go to Weedad in the city for my cut. And the products I use is all Weedad. It's the climate control gel and their leave-in conditioner. And the whole process, but I always tell people, it's not just the product, it's the process. So it's sectioning. So like I'll section my hair.
Yeah.
Like rake it, run it, and then you kind of release it. So the natural curl. Okay. So I do that throughout my whole hair. And then I put clips in to give it a little of that, height. Yeah. And I diffuse it. And then I put like an oil in it. So it takes me longer to do my hair than my makeup, I always say. But then this will last like 3 to 4 days.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I mean, I really am so encouraging. I don't know if you remember, I don't want to like call anybody out, the millionaire matchmaker, Patty, right? Was on Bravo. And she would always tell the girls, get a blowout. And I'm just like, it was just it's like a very weird cultural thing with this straight hair, but I'm so glad. I love your hair and it's gorgeous. So I think a lot of it is also, we need to know, right? We need to know where to go, what the products to use, do a little bit of trial and error. So I love that. But I do want to also talk about, because when I was preparing for the interview, you talk a lot about blending your career and your passion. And you mentioned that right at the top, like you're so happy that you love what you do. How did you discover that? And if, for a lot of moms, it is sort of like, we're all trying to figure that out. Like maybe we're in a corporate job that we hate and we have this dream to be an entrepreneur. So what are your advice for moms who, want to attain that, to blend their career and their passion?
It's crazy you say that. So like everybody's like, how did you become a makeup artist, right? How did you get into that? When I was a kid growing up from, I think, 5 to 17, I wanted to be a dancer. I'm 5'1". I wanted to be a rockette. Okay. It wasn't going to really work for me. But again, going back to no social media, being a makeup artist, there really wasn't the James Charles and like, the YouTube things. And I remember quitting dance, and I was like hardcore into dance. And I said to my parents, okay, I'm going to be a makeup artist. I'm going to work on celebrities one day. I'm going to do brides. I'm going to do special events. I'm going to do that. I mean, this is not even picking up a brush. I mean, I played, but this is just me out of high school saying, I don't want to go to college. That's not for me. And my parents looked at me and said, okay, if that's what you want to do and that's your passion, you're going to go for it. And when I was in my 20s, it was great because, working on weekends, working nights, it's, you could do whatever you want. You could live that life. And then I got married, and then we were trying to have kids and I couldn't. I was going through infertility. I mean, I remember in the Mac, when I was working for Mac in the stockroom, my husband would come behind and give me infertility shots because, you had to do what you had to do. And then with my daughter, Chloe, I'm sure you know about IVF and all that. I was literally 8 days pregnant and I was bleeding. I had to go on bed rest from 8 days. So when people say,
my God. So that's your entire pregnancy.
It was my entire pregnancy. She came at 32 weeks.
Okay.
But I did know, like, I did the stay-at-home mom stuff for a while. And I always tell moms, like, that is incredible doing that. Like, there was something that was like missing. Like, I felt, I had very bad postpartum. I was very depressed, and I knew I needed some other kind of balance. And I slowly went back to work. And it does take, like, when I'm working, I have my mom and I have my husband that has the balance. But I think that for other moms that want the passion and want to be able to do something, it is also hard because you have to be able to find what you want to do and be able to do. And I started so young, but writing the book, I started that 2 years ago. So I always tell people, if you want to do something, go for it. Like, you're never too old. You're never, like, if you have that passion and you want to do something. I have a friend that's 42 that is just now starting to design clothes because she had that passion inside of her, and she is killing it. So I feel like, even with my daughter, when I was, sitting at home, and I was on bed rest for all that time and everything else, I knew eventually when I wanted to go back to work, and I had to, it was something that was in me. So I just feel like there's that balance, I love being a mom. There's nothing more that is as rewarding as that. But there's also, when you have that passion and drive, you kind of gotta go for both.
Love that. Yeah, I love that. I can't tell you, I align with that so much. And Lauren, also, like, on our journey, like our motherhood journeys, obviously the challenges and the things that we're struggling with changes. It could be postpartum depression in those first few years, and then the toddler years come, and then all of that. But you mentioned that your kids are in middle school, so I'm curious to know, what are something that you're struggling with now? I mean, is it just the tween teen thing? Like, what's going on?
1,000%. I mean, my daughter's in my closet now, so that's something I never thought that would be a thing.
Oh,
And she, it's girls in general. And then, my son now, I think I love that time though. Like, I love that I can have real talk with my daughter. Like, it's a cool phase too, that she gets real conversation. I think I'm struggling now that I don't have, like, so my daughter's going into 7th and my son's going into 6th. And as much as I was saying, oh, there's no Spirit Week, I'm like, I'll take Spirit Week again. How do I have 2 kids in middle school? I'm really struggling now. I have, like, no babies. Like,
Yeah.
they're always my babies, but there's, like, no babies. So that's tough. That's definitely, they go to middle school, there's a disconnection from the teachers. They try to make them very independent. I want to email the teacher, like, how was their day? They get home, it was fine. I didn't do anything.
Right.
I mean, now she gets dropped off at the mall, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's just crazy. So
You have to, like, think back about, like, a little bit like when you were that age, right?
that's what I'm trying to do. And it's just, yeah. I do like that we have a very open relationship in our house. So can't stress that enough to parents. Start that young, because that's the best thing, the most important thing. Comfortable conversations, but it makes your house, like, where they tell you everything and anything. So I like that.
I think that's a great way to sort of, like, cap this interview. I love that. Lauren, this has been such a fabulous conversation. I feel like we're girlfriends now. I feel like a lot of people might say that about you, though. You have such a warm energy about you. So please tell us, like, where we can find more information about you, your makeup products, and of course the book.
Yeah, so definitely you could check out my Instagram, makeupartist_LV, my website, laurenvena.com. And I do want to tell you, I do these incredible mommy makeovers for these mommies that have these stories. So you could find that on my website too. And it was so nice talking to you.
And then, where is the book? On Amazon? Can we pre-order?
Yeah. Well, they're on my website, Amazon,
Okay.
or independent boutique. So yeah, you can find that all on my website.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much.
Thank you.